everybody, I am coming to you tonight bringing you a P13 layout. I really like these P13 layouts. Last time I brought you the Let's Flamingo. This time I am bringing you the new Autumn line and I absolutely love it. I've already done a little bit of prep work. Some of the colors in this paper packs was absolutely gorgeous. I'm using a 12 by 12, but I do have the 6 by 6, and they are such beautiful pictures and pages and graphics. This is probably one of my more favorite lines that has come out in the last little while. Okay, so I added a white page to the bottom. I thought I might add some white to this to give it a little bit more dimension, and I'm going to use Tim Holtz's Distress ink in Vintage Photo, and I am going to put that on our mat. Let's see how that looks. Oh yeah, I like that. So we're going to do that. I also took the scissors to my card and distress that as well. You could also use sandpaper to give it a roughed up look. And we're going to ink this as well. So this will give it more of a rustic look. So that turned out cool. And I think I'm going to put this down in this corner. That could change, but right now that's where I'm going to put that. So we're going to leave that like that. These are some of the little cards I was going to use. I'm going to cut off the ends because I'm not using them with brads, and I am going to ink them. Alright, so you can same thing, take your ink. Yeah, walnut stain would be a good one too if you're using Tim Holtz. But this one is Vintage Photo. So there's that, and this will be in here somewhere. Don't know where yet. Still working on that. And away we go. Some of this will be covered up. I also cut up some of the little tree cookies. We can ink them a little bit more as well. This one is an edge, so that will go close to the edge of the paper. Same with this one. So it's awesome. Love the color. Such a good color for stuff like this. So, gotta love Tim Holtz. And I'm just loving, like I said, loving this P13 line. Actually, I like all the stuff that they brought out this year especially. I really like the Halloween line that they brought out, the 13th birthday. That will be the layout next week actually, so I'll give you a little bit of a teaser about that. We're going to ink our pumpkins. So these were all cut out of the paper as well. And just give them a little bit of an edging. These will probably be foam squared on, so they'll have a little bit of a dimension, but the dark color ink will help as well with that. And away we go with that. Halloween is probably my favorite season, so I love scrapbooking it, and I find now that my children are older, there's not as much to scrapbook when it comes to Halloween, so I do a lot of fall and Thanksgiving and just random pictures outside of, you know, the weather changing and the leaves and everything, because there's not as much to do for Halloween. So yeah, so sometimes it forces me to dress up if I want to actually scrapbook it, so it's kind of fun. There we go. I think we've got just one more, and that should be it for our pumpkins. Don't need a ton of color on these, just a little bit. Okay, so that is it for those. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is try and figure out where the heck we're going to put all these things. So what I had thought of is doing like a little bit of a collage with stuff like this, right? So we could do like up in here, or we can like move those down a little bit so they're not over top of our pretty flowers. We could trim this back a little bit. So, and then maybe put this even like so over here. See, gotta play with it. Find what works for you. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's whatever works for you and whatever you're happy with. But I usually tend to do stuff like this, and then I'll work in my pumpkins and stuff somewhere. So that is what I'm going to do, and then work in the tree cookies. So I usually start with a base like this and then work all my little elements in that way. So that is what I am going to do with this one. This one, I will probably do something like that at the bottom. Okay, and then our picture will go on there later. So this is what I'm going to do. So now it comes time to tack it down. So with some of these, I'm going to foam melt them down. So some will just be regular adhesive. I use my Glue Dots Pro, or Glue Arts Pro, and I love that adhesive. It's getting harder and harder to find, but it is one of my more favorites. Okay, so this one I'm going to go a little bit off the page with it onto the white. Okay, and then this one, I'm not going to attach the bottom part of it with adhesive because we might have to lift it a little bit and put some of our papers underneath. So we might be layering it. We do have a video coming up soon on layering, so you might want to watch that if you want to get some tips and tricks on how to layer some of your items if that's something you struggle with. I tend to do a lot of layering, so we will go over some different ideas and things you can do to layer. So stay tuned. I have a whole bunch of videos coming up, my friends. We have videos until the end of the year, and then I will be starting from square one again. All right, so bear with me. There we go. So see, this is still raised, so we can still put stuff under it. Okay, so these I'm just going to attach with my adhesive. So I'm going to get my adhesive out. And with this, you can put as much adhesive as you want because we're not going to be putting anything under it. Okay, so we're going to put that like that. Then we're going to tack this guy down. And the reason I'm not making these three-dimensional is because all of our elements above it will be three-dimensional. So we don't want to have too much in the same area, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to cover this so it covers that little gap, because we're not going to be able to cover that up otherwise. All right, with these, I'm also just going to attach them down because we're going to have a lot of things that are foam squared, so we don't want to do too much of that. So I'm going to put these over top of here, like so. So it doesn't run into our other plants and our flowers, if that makes sense. And then this one, because it's shorter, it shouldn't be a problem either. So there we go. So there we go. So we have that part of it tacked down. So now we get to all of our other little embellishments. And we've got these flowers. We don't have to use these. I liked these because they kind of look like burlap, When I think of fall, I think burlap, right? It's kind of a neat look, and they have some of the same colors that we have in this layout, so I thought it looked kind of cool. Okay, so we are going to go to here. We have this too, this cute little dude. And I pulled this out in the chance that we might use it, but I don't know if we will or not. Don't want to have too much, but we could always put him in this corner if we wanted to, but again, I don't want to have too much. So this also was another option for the corner. So we'll see. We can do that. We could do this, which looks like a little bit of a cornucopia. So there's an option, right? Whether you want to have more blue, you just want to have this. This is kind of nice because we have lots of blue down here already. So there's an idea. We see. So we got that. Plus we have all of our letters and we have our stickers, our words. So what I was thinking of doing down here was attaching some of our pumpkins in this area. So I'm going to remove that for now. Haven't decided if we're going to use that. So this, and then like some of the gourds, and maybe a tree cookie. Again, we're layering. So, and maybe, I don't know, flower in here somewhere. Again, we're just playing around, seeing what we like and what looks good. I kind of like the look of these in here, but we can wait and see if that's kind of look we want to go for. Don't have to add all these flowers. Again, just looking for what color combos we like. So we can add some more of these pumpkins in this area. If we want to add some more tree cookies. And again, we can go off into the white. That's one reason I added this. And these cool, funky looking gourds. See? So these are some ideas. We can wait and see what we think of that. What are you thinking, my friends? Is that good enough? Do we need to add more? It is totally a personal preference type of thing. I kind of like the look of the Prima flowers. I don't know if I like the burlap, but again, it's up to you, or up to the person creating this, where they want to do it. And you don't want to add too much, because that might not be a good thing either. You can put that in there. It's totally up to whoever's creating this, because you just want it to have a nice aesthetic and be pleasing to the eye and not be overpowering, right? So, and then we've got these. So there's a whole bunch of different ones down here we could use as well. We don't have to use flowers. We can just use these if we want to. What I was going to do with the words is put them in here. So let's see what fits this. I'm going to have a picture of the family on here from Thanksgiving last year. So I like this one, which is Watch the Leaves Fall. We were at my mother's for Thanksgiving that year. And we have a family photo that I really like that I could probably use for this. Yes. Let's see, whatever else can we use? Give thanks. There's some nice ones on here. Fall stories. You're the cutest pumpkin in the patch. So there's so many different ways you could use these. Take in the beauty of the season. Each falling leaf brings us closer to winter. Oof, winter. Let's see, October, because it was October, it was Thanksgiving. And kind of like this one. I like the font. It says Shades of Autumn. So I'm going to put these ones over here. Just put it there, and here I'm going to put this October down here. So there's that. So I added our sticker letters, and I like the looks of that. That looks pretty cool. So if you look at these ones, let's see, what could we use here? There's a lot of really nice ones. We already have mushrooms there. There is one that says Good Times. There's the pumpkin. We have lots of pumpkins. The mushroom, which we do have there, like I said. We have the tree cookies, which we already have. This one's kind of neat. And I do kind of like this one, but I really like that one. We have the apples, sweater weather. What could we do here? Yeah, I wonder if we could. This is a tough one. You know what? I'm going to hold off on that, and I'm going to tack these down so we get a better idea of what it is we want to do. So with these, I'm going to pop that on. So we have our pumpkin there. Then I am going to put in our gourd. The other things I will probably just adhere with glue. So that, and then we are going to do that, and we are going to do this. And we're going to tack him onto the pumpkin. So there, we have that. And we do the ones over here. So I'm going to move our flowers out of the way. Same thing, I'm going to tack this down just with our glue. And I'm going to pop dot this one. I always say pop dot, excuse me, but it is actually mounting square. It's a foam square. I just always say pop dot. I don't know why. It's just been like that for a long time. Anyways, I'm gonna pop that in here. And a little bit of glue on this cute little green pumpkin. And on this tree cookie, same thing, a little bit of adhesive. And we are going to put that tree cookie down in that area there. All right, so this is our layout right now. We haven't added any more flowers or anything to it, but like I said, we have these stickers. It'd be kind of cool to use one. I just don't know which one we should probably use. There's so many nice ones. This is a tough call. This one's kind of pretty. Let's see what this looks like here. There we go. I kind of like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, so now that we have that there, do you think we need anything else? I'm not sure. One thing we could do, I did cut off these strips of color. We could put a little thin strip of the orange, or we could put a little thin strip of the blue. That is totally another idea too. The orange might be kind of nice because we do have a lot of blue on here. So that is an idea. So let's trim that up with our trimmer and see what we think of that. Don't need much, just a little. Okay, so we could do either a really thin strip, which might not be bad. It kind of gets a little bit lost in there. Or we could do a thicker strip, which I don't like the thicker. It's too big. So We could do the orangey shade, or we could do the blue. I almost think we need to stick with the orange because we don't have a lot of orange down in this area. But we could also do blue. This is a tough call. Maybe we'll do orange. We don't need much, so I'm gonna grab out my glue adhesive, and I like to use the two-way glue from Zig. Goes on really nice and smooth. Okay, so and then I usually do it that way and then cut off the excess. There's the excess. And there's our layout. So now that you've done that, you can always tack down these with some 3D squares, foam squares. But there's your layout. So there's not much to it, and we had some awesome items and products to use. I will have a list of all the items I used on this layout in the description. You could do a 2-page layout. I don't tend to do 2-page layouts. I'm a 1-page kind of gal, but you could also do a second page as well. One day I will do a 2-page layout for everybody who likes 2-page layouts. But this is it, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love these colors on this page. If you like what you're seeing, make sure that you subscribe to this layout feed. Just subscribe to the channel and like everything you see, and give me a thumbs up, so that always helps. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. There will be more to come, and next week again I said it will be the P13 Halloween pages and line that's called 13th birthday, I believe. So check into that, and again, our videos are put on to YouTube and Facebook every Sunday. So have a great day and happy crafting.